What's up, everybody? I'm back, and this time to do my prediction for what's gonna happen at the 2019 Ubisoft E3 press conference. We've been doing these predictions for every digital events or a press conference that's going to be at the show. So far, we've done Kind of Funny, Devolver Digital, Upload VR, PC Gaming Show, Microsoft. We've also done EA and Bethesda. So now we're doing Ubisoft. Like with the rest of these, we're going to go over what Ubisoft did last year as a way to enlighten us to what they might be showing us this year. And also, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I personally wish, pie in the sky in some cases, but I personally wish will happen at this press conference. So, Ubisoft E3 2019 press conference is going to be on June 10th at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And this year, I expect them to have quite the showing. I think they're gonna have quite an interesting showing. First, let's go to last year. Last year they started the show, and the same way they often start the show, with Just Dance. And Just Dance 2019, they came out, they danced for a while, and then revealed that the game was coming out to all the current console, but also Wii U and Wii. And I guess that's the most interesting thing about Just Dance. It's still coming out for Wii. Oh my god. I'm sure it must be selling well on Wii if they keep releasing it on Wii. So after Just Dance, they presented Beyond Good and Evil 2. We had that wonderful trailer that ended with the reveal of Jade. It was very good. And then after the trailer, they came in to talk about their Space Monkey program and how they wanted the fans to participate in the creation of assets, whether it's music or art, that would be put into the game. And then they brought in Joseph Gordon-Levitt to talk about his own company, which is Hit Record, that was going to be used to help people submit things for the game. And I do think that we're going to get some more Beyond Good and Evil this year. They've announced it 2 years ago, and so far it's been there on both years, so like 2 years ago and last year. I think they'll give us another update this year just to keep it in people's consciousness. You don't want a repeat of what happened last time they announced Beyond Good and Evil 2, and then it just goes AWOL and you don't hear about it for years. Next up, they talked about Rainbow Six Siege, gave us an update on how the game is doing, and also a literal update like for the game. I'm expecting something similar this year. You know, they have all these games as a service games, like ongoing game that they keep providing content for, not only Rainbow Six but also For Honor, which is later down the list. That they talked about For Honor last year too. They gave an update and presented some new factions. I wonder if we'll get some more new factions this year. But anyway, I expect both Rainbow Six and For Honor to be presented this year too. After that, we had the Trial Rising, which was presented by a developer coming on stage and then fake falling into the podium. Pretty funny. Trials Rising came out, generally well received. Fans of Trials have been really enjoying the game. I don't think they'll present us with anything else related to Trial right now. After Trials Rising, it was the Division's time, the Division 2. They presented a trailer and some gameplay. I definitely expect some updates on the Division 2, the state of the game, and also like what's coming up next for it. Mario and Rabbit Kingdom Battle. Last year they presented the Donkey Kong Adventure DLC. I think that's it for the game. I don't think they have any more DLC coming. I think it's done. Maybe we'll get a sequel. That'd be very interesting. Or maybe we'll get something else Nintendo related. I'll talk about that a bit later. After Mario and Rabbit, it was Skulls and Bone. This game is set to be released this year, but it's been having a troublesome development cycle. Like the lead director on the game left, and now like there's been some rumor that it's kind of a chaotic development right now. So I don't know if they'll push the game or if they'll release it anyway, if it was far enough that it can be released and okay to good state. I was intrigued by the game at first because it was like Black Flag, but just the boat part. So I do wish that they bring the game out this year, or at least like push it to next year, but don't cancel it. Transference was presented next with Elijah Wood coming to stage presenting the game. I haven't heard much about it since then. I'm not even sure that it came out or not. Tell me that in the comments below, chat. But yeah, Transference was presented. I don't think it'll be there this year. I do think they'll have a VR game. They usually have those. They had Eagle Flight and Star Trek Crew 2 years ago. Starlink was the next big one, and that was the big reveal of Star Fox is in the game. Everyone was quite surprised to see yet another partnership between Ubisoft and Nintendo, and Nintendo agreeing to lend their character to Ubisoft. And that was also the moment that they brought Miyamoto to stage and then backstage, like kidnapped him. Like, oh, come and see the development team. They'd like to see you. But yeah, that was pretty funny. That was pretty nice. I don't think we'll get anything else from Starlink, but maybe again another Nintendo partnership. We'll see. After that was the For Honor update. We already talked about that, and followed by the Crew 2. The Crew 2, quite frankly, I don't know the state of it. Like, they did perform well enough that they would give it some more update, or are they gonna move on to something else? I'm not entirely sure. And they ended their conference with, of course, the big one, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which was a great game, well received. And really, they keep updating it to this day. Just announced a new DLC where you go to hell. So I do expect them to either talk about Odyssey some more or not mention Assassin's Creed at all, because there's no new Assassin's Creed coming this year. So I don't think they would tease the one for next year. I think they'll either talk about Odyssey or not mention Assassin's Creed. And now let's get on to leaks, rumors, and infos that we already know about. And of course, it wouldn't be Ubisoft if there weren't a million leaks ahead of E3 that already tells us what half of their show is going to be. First of all, I got a step back to when they were doing their financial report and said that they had 3 unannounced AAA games set to be released that fiscal year, so before March 2020. We didn't know at the time what those 3 unannounced games would be, but with the leaks that have been going around these past few weeks, we're starting to get an idea. First one of which is probably Watch Dogs 3, which has been officially named Watch Dogs Legion, leaked by Amazon UK. And a very interesting premise, set in London, and it lets you play as any NPC in the game. I'm very curious to see how that works, because that sounds kind of weird. But yeah, Watch Dogs 3 I expect fully to be at the show. Another game that's been leaked, Rolo Champion. There was some artwork that were leaked. So yeah, we know it exists and they're going to talk about it. Maybe that was going to be their big surprise at the end, but now, too late. We know that, or Watch Dogs, really. Another thing that leaked from them, another game, the Ubisoft Pass. So it's going to be kind of a subscription service akin to EA Access, but for Ubisoft. I think that's the general consensus, but we don't really know like exactly what it entails. They'll give us more information at the show. I am certain of that. No new Assassin's Creed this year, so no chance to get Assassin's Creed leak. You know, historically, I think almost every Assassin's Creed has been leaked, so yeah. I think that's it for what we know for now, but give it a few days and the rest of the conference is going to be leaked. Next up, my prediction on my wishes. I do wish to see a new Ubisoft Nintendo collaboration. Kingdom Battle was great. I loved the game. Starlink I haven't played, but I think there was a heightened interest for the game after they revealed that Star Fox would be in it. So I think it worked out well for both of them, because last time Star Fox was in a game, Star Fox Zero, wasn't received that well. So, you know, to mix both of them, I think worked out for both franchises. So I want a new Nintendo Ubisoft collaboration. I also want a new Splinter Cell. They've been teasing it. There was that Twitter thing a few weeks ago where they tweeted that they were working on it, but it was just a joke. But really, like Splinter Cell, it's been years. Bring it back. Everybody would be hype. My personal favorite, the one I want to see come back the most, Prince of Persia. I know Assassin's Creed have kind of taken the place of Prince of Persia, but I really love those games. especially the trilogy, the Sense of Time trilogy. I want to see Prince of Persia come back in full force, either for this gen or for the next gen. We're getting close to next gen. And that brings me to one of my other predictions. We remember that Watch Dogs was the game that kind of launched the next gen cycle for this gen. Like the first Watchdog, when it was revealed, everybody was like, "Oh, this is not running on PS3 and 360. You're not gonna fool me, Ubisoft." And I think, or rather, I hope they do something similar again this year and show us a game that is obviously either running on PS5 or Xbox, whatever, One, Two, or Scarlet. No idea what it's gonna be called. And finally, just a surprise. Ever since that Watch Dogs surprise, Ubisoft has been pretty good at giving us one more game at the end that we didn't really expect. A surprise announcement, whether it was Ghost Recon Wildland, whether it was Watch Dogs, Steep, Beyond Good and Evil. I want a surprise. And I fear that the surprise might have been Watch Dogs 3, but now it's been spoiled, or might have been that roller skate game even. But they've been leaked. I hope they have something else that hasn't been leaked yet and that we can all enjoy and be shocked about. So that was it for me on the Ubisoft prediction. Tell me what you guys think is going to happen at the conference in the comments below. And be sure to come back next time when I talk about Square Enix.